Hi everyone, it's Hatsy and I'm back with another build video, and this time we are finishing off the inside of the Salvatore boarding house. So, I am very excited for this to be over and done with. I have waited a very long time for this to be over and done with. And I think a lot of you have as well, because if you've watched it to this point where it's at part 3 and you've watched it from part 1, then yeah, you'll have probably waited about a month for this to come out, so apologies. I'm going to be keeping up with my projects from now on though, and I'm working on my last interior video after this, which is the Beauty and the Beast's castle. So that'll be the next interior video that I do, and then I'm going to be moving on to my next project completely, which I think is Aurora's castle. It's either going to be Aurora's castle or Agrabah from Aladdin, so really just depending on what you think. Or if you have any ideas of stuff you'd want to see, then let me know in the comments. And also, if you do see other people comment something that you'd like to personally see, then just thumbs it up, because then I know like what's kind of trending at that point, you know. I'm not a very trendy person at all, so okay, right, we're just gonna move on from there though. So I had a bit of a rough start recording to begin with. Oh my goodness, it's been such a hectic day. So I've recorded this video before, and actually what happened was I was about a quarter of the way through, which if I mess up like a quarter of the way through, I'll just redo the video. So a lot of the time I'll have been, you know, sort of recording for what, like 10 minutes, and then I'll just stop if something goes wrong and then just like re-record it and stuff. Well, what happened this time was I was really getting into this story about Terry. Oh, if you've heard about Terry, you either love her or you hate her. I literally have, I swear, a gang of people that absolutely love, like, worship Terry. And they're like, how could you talk about Terry like that? She's so kind. She's been so kind to you. She doesn't owe you anything. And it's just like, okay, just chill out. But I'll explain who Terry is if you don't know who Terry is in a second. But yeah, basically what happened was I was getting really into telling a story in this part, to the point where I was like at the edge of my chair and I was really going for it, you know. It was a good story in my opinion. And then the door goes, and it's my husband, and he's back from work early, and I wasn't expecting him to be back from work early, so it kind of threw me off, because something that I don't really speak about in my videos is the fact that I always get really uncomfortable to record around him. I just do. I think it's because I have to watch what I say, because like I always filter what I say to him anyway, and then when I'm recording, because sometimes like I'll say stuff and I'll think, oh, I can just like cut that out, like I don't need it in the video, you know, whatever. Because sometimes I do mention stuff that I like, maybe I shouldn't, or maybe I'll think, it's not a really good idea, it's kind of controversial that I say that. So I do editing, which is the best thing about YouTube. And it's also why I kind of want to stay away from streaming, because I feel like I'd say something that's controversial that people be like, oh, Hatsy just said that, oh my goodness, like, wow. So yeah, maybe not the best idea. So he's gone out now, and I don't know if he's angry at me because I was just like, hi, could you give me a bit of time please? So yeah, I don't know, we'll see, we'll find out later. I'll let you know the drama at some point. There's not that much drama, seriously. My life is pretty plain at the moment, I reckon anyway. Apart from the whole Terry thing. So, okay, Terry, in other words, she's a woman that I got annoyed with at one point. And I got annoyed with her because she was constantly knocking on my door, telling me that other people would be constantly knocking on my door. But yeah, she's basically a woman that works in the estate agents across the road. And I live on a new estate, so I live in like a brand new house. You can see it, you know, if you want to. I've got a video of let's build my house on the channel. If you want to see that, you can, of course you can. But yeah, so you get an idea. The building estate that I live on is finished, and I think it's kind of unfair in a way, because we were promised so much when we moved in that it would be quiet. I asked so many times, I was like, is it a quiet place though? And they're like, yeah, it's so quiet. It's all finished. We promise you. Like, all the building stuff's finished. The only building work that's going on is like down the road from you, and you won't hear any of that. But every single day, I swear to every single person watching this video, I hear nothing but trucks going past my house, like big trucks. It's so frustrating. Because it's the people cleaning the salt up from the road, I think. But they go past probably about 10 to 15 times a day. And it takes a really long time. So I have to keep like turning the video off, you know, at points and stuff like that. So it's kind of irritating that they didn't, you know, they weren't honest with us when we first bought the house. But hey, whatever. So the reason why Terry's frustrated me is because my heating bill came through again. And basically what happens is when you have a new house, you are entitled to have things fixed. Like if things go wrong in your new house, because things go wrong all the time, you can have it fixed really easily. So this is no exaggeration to you. Not one of the big things that we've needed doing to the house has been done since we moved in. And we moved in I think like November. That's really bad, isn't it? Like seriously, that's pretty bad. So do you remember when I talked about like my ceiling collapse and stuff, or like what, it's got a massive crack down it? Yeah, that still hasn't been fixed. Like they haven't even come back to see the work yet. And Terry was supposed to check that, but like she hasn't been in contact with me or anything. I think another thing that annoyed me was Terry messed around with my heating and she pressed these buttons without knowing what they did, and that's made my heating bill really expensive. So yeah, Terry's cost me like thousands of pounds. And I know I laugh about it, but how frustrating is that? Like one person that doesn't know what they're doing comes to your house, press a load of buttons that you don't know what they've done or how you fix it or like, you know, whatever, and they've cost you like a lot of money. It's just like, oh, cheers, Terry. Anyway though, Salvatore kitchen, because there are going to be some people that are annoyed at me talking about random stuff that's going off. But I do want to talk about random stuff going off as well, because this part of the build is just going to be really chilled. It's going to be just relaxed. There's not that much that I can really commentate about every single individual thing, but I will try my best. Like when it comes up to it, I'll have a go. So this kitchen, I tried to find different screenshots online of how it looks and stuff, and it was really hard because it's changed round, and also there'll be some scenes where you'll only see certain angles of it. So that was really confusing because I was only seeing one angle of the kitchen, and then I saw another screenshot just like maybe 20 minutes after doing the kitchen that sort of saw it in a different light, and I was thinking, oh no, I've just messed the whole thing up. So I really did try with this. You don't have to lie to me and say it's okay. You can just go onto the gallery and you can just go and correct it if you really want to do that. Like you can, of course you can. It's on the gallery for everyone to get. So I used those bricks in the kitchen. I haven't used those bricks before anywhere else. I don't think I have anyway. They're really difficult to fit into anywhere though, so if you do use them, good luck. Something that I do wish that EA didn't do was I wish they didn't put that board around the bottom of the bricks, because I feel like if you want to have that brick on a house, why has the house got to have a line down the middle of it? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird, isn't it? So not the biggest fan of that, I have to admit. Oh, this was the really awkward sink. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they have this really awkward sink, and it's like a bathtub in their kitchen. That is like pretty much all I can describe it as to you. But it was really confusing, so I tried everything, like everything possible to try and make it as good as I could make it, but I think it worked out okay. You can judge for yourself. I don't really mind if you don't like it. There are things about this house that I don't particularly like that I wouldn't have in a certain way, but there we go. It's been really stressful today, actually. I've tried to record so many videos, but not much has gone to plan. Have you ever had one of those days where you wake up and you're really motivated and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do loads of stuff today, and then you don't? And then you think to yourself at night, what have I actually done today though? What have I actually done? I think most of my day today has been dropping the dogs off at the groomers, and that was a heck of a journey. So yeah, there and back twice was, 2-hour drive easily. In traffic as well, so not good. I haven't actually got used to driving in England yet properly. I used to drive a lot in Germany. It was really easy to drive in Germany, I found anyway, because it's all like straight roads and stuff, well at least where I was. So it was fairly manageable, but driving in England's really hard. And the place that I live, we have like double roundabouts and everything. It's really tricky like really hard to get used to it. So that's going to take me a while to get used to, I think. I'm not a very confident driver now. I'm just not. I think I've been burnt too much in the past. Because, like, there was this one time where this woman tried to sue me. Shall I actually just talk about that for a second, though? Should I? Yeah, okay, I think I will. Because it makes for a pretty good story, I have to say. It's not one of my proudest moments, but it is quite a funny story. Maybe I'll do it in a separate story time video, but yeah, I'll go over it now. Just while we do the kitchen, because I'm just adding objects around. So basically what happened was I passed my driving test when I was, well, 17. I think that's like the legal age in the UK, I think. I have no idea, 17 or 18. So yeah, I passed with flying colours. First time as well, it's pretty good. But I wasn't that confident at driving when I first started driving. I was quite a rebellious driver when I first started. I'd have like loud music on in my car. I'd purposefully drive quickly because I liked the thrill. But I wouldn't recommend anyone to do that because or else you're going to end up like me in this situation that I'm telling you about now. So don't behave like that, seriously, because if I could turn back time, I would have definitely just said to myself, be more careful, just, you know, chill out. So I was driving in, well, where I used to live, which was Kidderminster, and I was going round a roundabout, and there was this driver in front of me, and what happened was I was looking right, because I was seeing, you know, if I could go off the roundabout, and the person in front of me slammed their brakes on. So they did it for no reason, there was nothing in front of them, and they did it, I personally think they did it, because they wanted a crash for cash situation, because they obviously saw that I was a young girl in a car driving quickly, music on, you know, whatever, and they took advantage of that. So yeah, they slammed their brakes on, I slammed my brakes on, and I didn't hit them. Like, I did not hit them. However, it was really close, like really close. So what happens is this woman, she's like really aggressive and she's like a big woman. She's got like blonde hair. Not that that like matters, but I'm just kind of giving you a bit of description here. And she tells me to pull over in my car. So I pull over in my car. She pretty much like threatened me for my details. Like, you know, she got me to hand over my phone number and this and that. And I was really worried, you know, I was very young and I didn't understand what I was doing. If this was now, I would have just like driven off and been like, no, nothing's happened here. Like, I haven't even touched your car. Or to be fair, I'd have just called the police. Well, so when I got home, I explained to my dad that there was an aggressive woman who insisted that I bashed her car, or like I went into the back of her car, which I didn't do. And then she threatened me for my details and stuff. Well, my dad wasn't very happy about that, and he was really angry that like I hadn't rang him and stuff, and like I definitely should have rang him, to be fair. So my dad ends up ringing this woman, and she said that I did bash into her car, but I know that like I didn't, but I don't know why I gave her my details. That was really stupid of me. So yeah, my dad didn't know what to believe. We go to her house, and by this point, she's backed her own car into a wall or something. Like, the back of her car is ruined. It's like falling off and it's all smashed. Now, bear in mind, there isn't a single bit of damage to my car, which would kind of make you think, okay, well, she obviously like hasn't done it. So at that point, the woman was pretty much threatening my dad for money and like saying that she may take it through the insurance or whatever. But like, you know, again, there was no damage to my car. I didn't hit her. Long story short, we end up leaving. And a few weeks later, I get a letter in the post saying that she's going to be going through my insurance. The insurance are going to have to pay her £6,000 for her car to be fixed. She's had to have time off work for whiplash, etc. And I'm livid because I didn't hit her car. Well, anyway, I had to have a private assessor round to the house to like examine my car. And this private assessor from my insurance company confirmed that no damage was done to my car and no damage like could have been done to her car from my car. It just couldn't have been done. So yeah, private assessor confirmed that she's a fraud. She lied. I didn't hit her. As I said, I haven't hit her. So yeah, anyway, 3 years later, she ends up coming back into my life and sending me a letter saying that she's suing me. She's suing me. So after that, like, because that was quite a while ago now, the insurance company ended up just paying her like £6,000 and that was it. Like, yeah, she ended up getting away scot-free. So that's it. That's the story. So yeah, I hate that woman so much. It was very annoying, but oh well. Anyway, moving on to the upstairs. So we're going on to Damon's room. I did call him Damien in the last part, which I'm really sorry for. I shouldn't have called him Damien. I should have called him Damon. But it doesn't really matter. It's okay. I did actually realise that he has a balcony and everything, so we're going to be figuring that out in this part too. He also has his own chambers. Like, he has a dressing room, he has a bathroom and everything. From what I could see, you know, I'm only going off pictures. I actually went back and redid the bathroom, so don't worry about that. Because it's really modern. He's got this really weird bathroom, actually. Oh, in terms of the beds, though, the beds are really weird. So he has this, like, ginormous bed, but we don't have anything like it in The Sims 4, so I had to make my own up and try and make it like a king-size medieval bed. So you'll see what I did there. I tried to make it good. I can't promise you that it's going to be good, but hey, you can try. The actor's having a baby, by the way. What does everyone think about that? I'm happy for him. I skipped a little bit of the bedroom stuff because it's too much, honestly. You're gonna get bored. Something I did notice about the Salvatore brothers is that they have loads of books in the house. So you'll see me just put in loads of just like random books everywhere because they both have piles of books in their bedrooms. I don't really read that much, to be honest. My sister and I went shopping the other day and we went to Merry Hill, which is a place in, oh my goodness, where even is it? It's like near Birmingham, I guess. But it's changed a lot, oh my goodness. It was so strange going back. But yeah, she took me into Waterstones and all I was doing was looking at the pop-up books. Anyway, this was Damien's, or Damon, oh my goodness, sorry, his strange bathroom. So he has a really weird thing where it's like a shower on the wall, but then there's nothing else around. So I know that there's a bath there, but I think I changed it in a bit. You'll probably see that. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good by the time that I've finished it. But again, it couldn't be exact. I think to be exact, we'd need an actual shower part in The Sims 4, which you could just like hang on the wall and then it would have nothing around it. So I kind of hope we'll get stuff like that in the future. I don't know if we will. It seems like for each piece of furniture, they have a basic idea of the shape and size of it, but it's just decorated in a different way, if that makes sense. So like, you know, a shower is just a shower or whatever, but same with the beds as well. Like, we get lots of different designs, but they won't go much bigger or smaller than we already get. But I hope that they do. I hope that they really do push the boundaries and go for bigger things, which would be really good. We'll just see. I think the problem with The Sims is they need time. If you're on Twitter, they're having these polls where you can vote for the next stuff pack, basically. And the idea is, I think, like, after a year's process of votes, or, you know, weekly or monthly votes, whenever they want to do it, we will eventually end up with a stuff pack that we've all made together. So at the moment, it's an eco pack, which I was kind of surprised about because I wanted to go for a wedding stuff pack. That would have been amazing. But no, no one else thought like me. Oh, a wedding stuff pack though, guys. That would have been amazing. Anyway, moving on. Stefan's bedroom. This was so confusing. It hurt. It actually hurt my head by the end because I was thinking, number one, where is Stefan's bedroom? And number two, we have wooden beams in Stefan's bedroom. So I want you to imagine that this is an overhang. Like, you know, it's kind of in the attic area. It's really confusing. We just get the plain white ceilings in The Sims 4, which I just detest. I wish that we got some really cool options, but we just don't. So yeah, here's Stefan's bedroom. It was irritating as well because it doesn't show you every angle of it. So you're going to see it looking differently just throughout, but I did change it round in the end and I think it looks okay by the end of it. It's definitely the biggest room though, because you've got his bed over here, you've got his whole office area. He's got loads of stuff in here. I think Stefan's slightly more modern than Damon is, but I'm only saying that going off what his bedroom looks like, to be completely honest with you. I was trying to recreate it exactly the way that it was, and it is tough. He also has a balcony, so you'll see me put that in a second. I find it so unusual that they've all like swapped partners in the TV program. I know I keep going on about it. I won't go into specific detail, you know, with who switched round and stuff, but it kind of threw me off because honestly, as I was going through this room, I was thinking, I wonder how many people have actually been inside this room. Probably a lot. I know that sounds really horrible of me, but honestly, you know, think about it. How many people would have been inside this room? Like loads. This was when I was adding clutter around it. I think it definitely needs a good tidy up, but at the same time though, to make it look cluttered in The Sims 4 is quite a challenge because we don't have that many items that would have gone in this room. So I think I did an okay job. I was pretty happy with it. I hope the bed works. I didn't test that bed, but I did test the other one. So that worked in my game. I hope it works in yours. Oh, also, please remember to use BB Move objects if you do use this build. So I think I finished his room for a second, but then we'll go back to that in a bit, most likely. I did put in a bathroom, but I can't remember if we skipped over it. So apologies if we did, but it's a nice bathroom by the end of it. This was supposed to be Catherine's room. I don't even think Catherine would have a room, but maybe at one point, like maybe when things were really good, maybe they would have planned for her to go and live with them, so she would have had like a coffin there and everything. I don't know though, okay? Like I just thought that would have made sense. Or maybe the coffin is when Stefan's having a really bad day and he doesn't want to have like, you know, maybe he doesn't want to trust himself in his ordinary room. Maybe he'd rather go and lock himself away in the coffin. So there's that, just in case you wanted it. I don't know. I felt like it wouldn't be a complete vampire mansion without a coffin. That's why I put one in. So I think going back to his room just briefly, I then figured out that there's a part in the corner which is actually a study, and then there is a balcony, etc. So it's not how I imagine the corner to look, but I did fix it. So I did start like moving the sofas and the fireplace and whatnot, and it did turn out to look a little bit more accurate than I had it. There's not a great view of the garden, to be honest. I think looking back, if I was going to redo the garden stuff, I'd have probably gone for more of like a natural garden, maybe with like a swimming pool or something. We don't really have enough space. I wish we had more space on this build. I hope that in the future we'll get bigger plots. I always say that though. I'd love a bigger plot in The Sims 4. Fingers crossed. I mean, I didn't think they'd go much bigger than 50 by 50, and then they went for a 64 by 64, so you never know. The garage looks really strange, and I'm aware, but it does stay like that, unfortunately. And the reason why it does stay like that is because I wanted the car, you know, to be in there for show. So if you can see the car to the bottom left, that's what's going on there. Like, there was no other way that I could put the garage in. And like, they do have cars in the build as well, I know that. So yeah, finishing off his room just slightly. He's got his little desk there, etc. And now we're finished with that. We are on to the hallway. Hallway-wise, I think this area, I don't honestly know what happened. I think I've done a little bit of work to it. Maybe I lost the footage for that little room with the 2 beds in, I don't know. This bit though was really just filling up the last part of the house with bedrooms, etc. I'm not going to show you everything because, well, I would have, honestly, but the footage got so long for part 3 that I honestly can't remember what I have and haven't showed you. But if you're wondering, well, where did that room go, or why haven't we seen footage for that? It's because it's probably been cut out or I've lost it over time because this took me a really long time to do. Yeah, anyway, moving on to the last 2 rooms, I thought I'd add in 2 more bedrooms, which are the last ones of the build. So I think altogether we probably have about 7 bedrooms, I reckon. Yeah, about 7, I think. Around that kind of number, maybe 8. You can count for yourself if you want, but that makes for a good boarding house, I reckon. We could probably have a lot more as well if we got rid of some of the really useless rooms that I put in, but I like to have a lot of places where the Sims can just sort of hang about and not really do much. You know, if you want to have a sit down chat, then they can in lots of parts of the house. Anyway though, that is the end of the build. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Sorry that this has been more of a relaxed video, but I think that it's been good that way. Thank you so much for watching it though, and I'll speak to you all in my next video.